Hey, Mervin.
Hello.
Everybody. Sorry, I meant to get the reminder out. I've been running around delivering farm to family boxes, and I really did not anticipate how long it was going to take me. Way longer than I thought it would.
Monique, I've changed my mind. I think we should do the January 1st Monday movie.
Okay.
We need to start the year right, okay?
Okay.
I'll pick something today.
Okay. Yeah, probably something that I can. Yeah, something I could download, which I think I could download anything off of Amazon or YouTube.
I'm writing this down.
Nope, Amazon thinks I'm talking to it.
So the first Monday isn't until January 4th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're good. Plenty of time. No
Okay.
worries.
Okay. Oh, I think that's Gary. Hey, Gary. Hey, Gary, can you hear us?
Yeah, okay. They kicked me out there once, so I'm back in for a little bit.
Okay. Do you do you have any updates you want to give everybody?
Well, I'd just like to say how lucky we are that Food Bank is going to continue to distribute for 2 more months. We're supposed to have ended next week, but thanks to a generous donation and some other funding, it's going to continue in January and February when it's going to be much needed. And what I think is significant about that, the Abbey Group is going to take it over again, so it'll be local foods, not stuff shipped in from out of state.
Yep, good.
And the other thing is, even though the governor has relaxed
Nope. I know Gary's on the road. Gary, we can't hear you. Oh, he dropped again. Yeah. I don't know if anybody's gone to I haven't gone to I guess I haven't done the food pickup. Ryan's done the last 2. So it's just like a single box today. It's really efficient though. It was really good. It was really fast. And staying on the food thing, Fairly they have really quick, I guess they're like boxing all their stuff on Fridays. So they said they have 35 boxes and you can pick up between 11 and 11:30. We have a few families that have asked for pickups there. And actually Kathy McGrath is gonna bring to Bradford every other week, which is really nice, and bring it to the families. And then we're just coordinating a volunteer to do the alternate Fridays. So Nancy, like if there's mentoring families or anything that need help, or Carol with the seniors or anything, it's open to anybody. But.
Can you give me a little bit more information about that?
Yeah, so I'm not actually sure where their food comes from. I think it was coming from Willing Hands, and then I think they even had prepared meals this summer, but I'm not sure. I can copy and paste some information they sent me, but they've been doing it every Friday since the start of COVID. They're taking the next 2 weeks off, and then they're going to start back up January 8th. I think she said the pickup is between 11 and 11:30. They used to, I get the feeling that they used to do it so that you could just like pick what you wanted. But now they're just doing like pre-made boxes. And I think she said they have 35.
And this is in Fairleigh where?
I think it's right at the like, gazebo or town hall. It's right in that area. It used to be like they were doing it on the lawn. But now you just drive through and pick up. And she said some people tend to get there like an hour early, but she said it's really not necessary because they have enough.
So do they need to reserve for this?
I will double check. I don't think so, but I'll double check.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so if Gary jumps back on, I'll switch to him, back to him for his update. For communications, I don't think I have anything. I haven't really updated anything. For volunteer, we definitely started. There's been more requests again, which everybody was kind of like out of that mode. So trying to get everybody to help again is going to take a little bit, I think. One elderly couple called in asking for help picking up prescriptions, and I had 2 families calling in asking for help picking up food. So I have a feeling like maybe it'll get busier, but
Yeah, Money,
yeah.
if the elderly couple calls Vicky at the senior center, she can arrange a volunteer to do that.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's awesome, Carol.
Yeah.
I might actually call her and let her know that, because it was like I think she needed it like right away, and I was trying to find somebody to do it, and I couldn't get a way to do it. So
Yeah.
that would be good for the future. And actually, it was nice. I think she said Erin told her to call, which I'm guessing is probably Erin Odell from making the calls to seniors, saying that help is available if they needed it. So that was kind of nice to see that come back.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ryan, I guess you're on. Is there anything for the town?
We had a select board meeting last night where we made the decision we're not going to have an in-person town meeting day this year just because of COVID. We'll do Australian ballot. We'll do some Zoom informational sessions so people can get their questions in. There's just a lot of work that's going to have to go into it, but and we're just continuing to work on the budget. We're probably going to have, we're going to have a special budget meeting to continue work on that January 6th, which is a Wednesday. I think that's pretty much it.
Cool. And I think maybe Brian knows more than me, but or you, Ryan, but the skating rink is open. That's something. And I guess there's cross-country ski trails that Ashleen and Sheena made on the golf course. If anybody wants an outlet for recreational purposes. I don't see Ashleen. Ramsey, do you have any other updates on like food, or Carol? Like how's Meals on Wheels going, and how are you seeing needs from Capstone, Ramsey?
I'm not seeing so many needs. I mean, I'm not hearing from people in the Bradford area so much about a need that's not being fulfilled. But most of the people I've talked to are connected to the food shelf or the senior center. I kind of missed a little bit of what you're talking about. I don't know if the Everyone Eats program, how that is happening in Bradford. But. Yeah,
so Little Rivers has I forget how many they have. I want to say it's like 40 families. They have like a finite number of families they're working with, and then the library can also do Everybody Eats.
All right, yeah, somebody just asked me about that, but that was for this area, so I was going to try to find out some more because I hadn't. There were Randolph anyway was sort of like in a little limbo area, so I wasn't sure how Bradford was with between different places serving that. So
yeah, I think Gail probably has capacity at the library to do more. And the Little Rivers might at this point as well.
Ashleen just sent an email saying they have a staff meeting today.
Okay, thanks.
I just saw it pop up on my screen.
Carol, what about Meals on Wheels and senior need for food?
I think it's holding its own. I
Okay.
haven't heard anything from Vicky, so
Okay,
all's well.
okay, cool. And Bruce, what about the school? Oh, you might be on a call or something. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, well, let me see, a couple of things, we did send out meals, a week's worth of meals this week, for children and their families. And probably people are aware that we did go to virtual learning January 4 through 8. That was a reluctant decision. It was not something that Emily wanted to do. She was really trying to avoid that, but she had gotten enough information from enough sources that there were enough people potentially visiting multifamily scenarios that she did a survey, and that survey indicated a pretty high number. I don't have the numbers right here, but there were a lot of people planning to do that, and that there would have been a significant number of people needing to isolate. So she ultimately reluctantly made the decision to go virtual for January 4 through 8, just to be careful. And yeah, not much else. It's pretty quiet around here. The schools are, of course, out of session right now, and hopefully everybody will have a Merry Christmas, even if it's a very wet one.
Cool. Thanks, Bruce.
Yep.
I don't see anybody from medical updates. Let's see. Marvin, can you think of anything for business financial resources or anything?
Or do you want to talk about the updates on the vault at all, or is that?
Yeah, yeah, we can. So the Bradford Business Association and like I was trying to work with the people who are trying to buy the Abishon building on a letter to try to send to like the state to ask for help and see if the BBA was open to basically trying to help look for grants and stuff, because the town's trying to move forward on it by itself. And I adjusted a letter and then was basically getting ready to send it out. I was sending it to Marvin and Mark, and then just reached out to the state and had a call real quick the next day and made the letter kind of not necessary right now. But the state said like they have money for planning grants and that could cover both the hole and the building, what the building needs. So maybe I should back up. For anybody who doesn't know, there's a huge hole underneath the sidewalk in front of Abishon's. That just makes it so that anybody who's buying the building is taking on a huge liability, basically, even though there's like, the building needs to be strengthened, but then the hole needs to be filled in, and the hole is more of a town, possibly state thing, and the building is more of the owner thing, but there's a lot of confusing pieces there. But the state said also he thinks that Bradford would qualify for up to $500,000 to cover the hole and the wall, and that the money could go toward the building owner to help fix up the wall just as much as it could go to the hole to fill it in. So I joined the select board meeting last night to basically say I think the town should try again, because the town tried for just the planning piece of it, just for the whole in 2013 and 2016, and got denied both times. But I feel like for things that could be worked on, and that it's worth applying again. And the state said that they would like to, the state wants to get together with us and Two Rivers and the town and talk about it, just frankly, about what's going on and what needs to happen, and see how it can be fixed. And anyway, so I'm gonna keep working with this, trying on the select board. I think there's mixed feelings about whether or not it's worth trying again, but I don't see why it wouldn't be worth trying again, especially if we're offering to do the work, which is what I was offering. So anyways, we'll see how that goes.
Monique,
Yeah.
it sounded from that meeting last night that it would take, well, they can't apply for the grant until the current work that's going on is totally finished and that contract is closed out, correct?
Yeah. I don't
And
wanna-
so
there's sounds like not definite things going on there, which is equally as confusing. Which-
that's definitely going to delay the sale of that building, am I right?
oh yeah, absolutely. Nobody will buy the building unless that hole's filled in because they're taking on that responsibility.
And there's,
So-
and my understanding is there's nothing tangibly going on right now.
Right.
And so, and we don't, I mean, it was supposed to have started weeks ago. And if there's nothing going on right now, and there's an opportunity to get the whole shebang done through a grant prospect and have the town not have to kick in that $150,000, then why not, why don't we get this meeting going? Why don't we put put the, deal on ice with the people that are planning, that the town was talking to, and just say, we need to take next steps here and get talking with the state, figure out if we can get this done. I mean,
But isn't Fairbanks Mill working there right now?
They're like, I don't kn- Danielle says they are, and this
I've seen them there working.
yeah, okay. So
well, if the town had to pay them $25,000 for the work they've done, they'd still be better off than paying them 150. That's all I have to say.
yeah. So I don't know. We'll keep pushing them, but sorry, Ryan, for talking about you. But let's see. Support for seniors. Carol, I'm guessing the senior center is still closed.
Yeah, the senior center is still closed. I talked with Zach yesterday at Margaret Pratt to find out about vaccinations. And they don't have any firm date, but they're thinking, the only thing they've heard is sometime in January.
Okay.
So, and, knock on wood, there's still no COVID at Margaret Pratt. So if that holds, that's a great thing. So
Who is, which, is it a pharmacy, or who's going to take care of, vaccinating seniors
yeah.
and things?
Zach didn't say. That the only information that he had gotten so far is that sometime in January. So, the other thing I would mention is that Little Rivers has built 2 booths up in Wells River for COVID testing, and I think by the end of this week they're online as a state testing site, as well as testing for their own patients. And there are various times that are available, but that's probably going to be a really good place for people in the community to go to get tested because it won't cost them anything. So,
Carol, are you still on the board?
Hmm?
Are you still on the board of Little Rivers?
oh yeah,
Can you
Yeah.
maybe suggest on behalf of me that the COVID testing information get added to the website? Because I was trying to go find dates and times for people. I think
okay.
like maybe a week or 2 ago, and there was no COVID testing information at all on the website.
Yeah, I was looking at it too. Yeah, I'll email Andy and
Yeah.
Andy Barter and Ashleen and
Yeah.
suggest
And
that.
Carol, do you know if Little Rivers is going to be administering the vaccine?
I haven't heard anything yet. I assume they will be because the information has been that federally qualified health centers will be. But I don't
So
think,
is there a way to get on a waiting list for older people?
I don't think the planning has started yet because the information hasn't come from the feds to the state to Little Rivers. Little Rivers will get on top of it as soon as they can. I know.
You promised them 50 grand, Nancy, that they'll get on that list.
The vaccine is at Cottage Hospital because Cottage Hospital employees are getting vaccinated now.
Right.
So
Yeah, and we have a board meeting next week, so you may hear more then about when the Little Rivers employees are going to get vaccinated. But so
When
far,
first responders are getting vaccinated, they're being able to sign up different places. So I know my mom's on the FAST squad in Stratford, and they were able to go to Ascutney to get vaccines at the end of this past week. So it's,
I would
it's
like to
starting,
find
it's moving
out if we
around.
need to go to Little Rivers or if we need to go to Cottage to get vaccinated. And if they're establishing a list and
you're-
if there's a way to get on the list.
Well, are you a Little Rivers patient? Because if you are,
Yes,
just
and I'm
call,
old with pre-existing conditions.
yeah, just call the office
Okay, thanks,
And I-
Carol.
or email your primary care provider.
Thank you.
That's
Thanks,
what I'm
Carol.
gonna do.
Thanks, Carol. Stop bombarding you with vaccine questions. Let's see, youth. Well, Bruce.
Oh, well, I went already, so.
Okay, you're good. Okay, Brian, did you have anything on? I'm guessing there's nothing on youth sports, but
What the governor said yesterday, we just got a letter from the high schools about basketball, that type of stuff, the AD. So I think Bradford Youth Sports is going to get together and talk about, what we can do and how we can meet the guidelines and that type of stuff. The problem again is we don't have gym space to do it. So that's going to be the hardest thing to try to figure out if there's any way that we can go on that. So, we should have a meeting next week, and I think we'll try to determine if it's worth trying to do or where we go from here.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not promising anything, but I'm an interested party. So if you invite me to that meeting, I will try to gather information from Emily and from our principals to see how they want to handle that in terms of the gym space.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So I can at least be a little bit of a liaison. I don't know what people's take on this will be at this point, but I will try to help.
Yeah, and I think the town had kind of said no on the gym at the academy building. So it's really a question of whether we could use Bradford Elementary School, and if not, I've got to believe that Oxbow will be full, because it sounds like from the letter that we got from Derek that they're going to split the kids as much as possible, which means fewer kids in the gym, which means more time taken up in the gym. So,
right.
But yeah, I'll get something out to you, Bruce.
Okay, thanks.
Nancy, what about mentoring or anything like that?
Well, January is National Mentoring Month, and traditionally we've had a pizza party for parents and families with Marco the Magician. And we've also gone to the Haven to volunteer for Martin Luther King National Day of Service. And we can't do any of that this year, but we are going to have Marco via Zoom for mentors, mentees, and families on January 17th.
That's cool.
And we're trying to come up with some other virtual things. It's tough though.
Yeah. Thanks, Nancy.
Yep.
I don't see Carol Taylor. Ramsey, what about housing heating?
So there's a lot of flux right now because a lot of programs that were available are ending due to CARES Act money supposedly having to be used at the end of December. It sounds like there'll be more money coming, so we kind of don't know what that means right now. There are a number of and I don't know what has happened with them, because I think the deadline was the 20th. There were a couple of rental units that had been able to take advantage of the rehab money, but they were supposed to have people leased up by now, right about now this week. And I don't know what that means. And I don't think anybody really knows what it means for sure if it doesn't get done by the end of December. So hopefully there will be some ability to have those people not have to pay back grants and things like that. And because it definitely is adding some capacity for people to rent, and improving the housing stock, which we all know in Vermont is not in great shape. So the National Day of or the state, we have a day of homelessness recognition at the State House. Usually it's like in the very beginning. We're planning on doing a virtual one this year through the Vermont Coalition to End Homelessness and the Affordable Housing Coalition. So I have a meeting about that after this meeting about finalizing some things to do that. So they will try to do the vigil they do and try to have speakers from the legislature that usually attend, try to do it by Zoom and see how that goes.
Cool. What about Whistle Stop? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Marvin.
Yeah, well, I had
Okay.
two questions. One was whether the 3 units are in Whistle Stop yet, and the other one is, Monique, can you give us an update on where we stand with the next steps of the housing forum?
Yeah, and I haven't been to Bradford in months and months, so I don't know if the new places are up at Whistle Stop or not. I was actually thinking about coming to Farmway tomorrow, but I have not heard anything about them, so I don't know what the status is of that.
And the housing piece, Marvin, I think could we just do a discussion at the steering committee on the 7th?
That's what we were going to do, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Thanks for
And I'm gonna invite Eileen back to those because since Mike is
Yep.
so she asked me to invite her to those.
Okay, good idea. Thank you.
But I think management at Down Street is likely changing around a little bit because so I don't know who is going to be doing Louisa's job, but Louisa is going to be doing Amy's job, and Louisa was the one who was like sort of the property manager at the moment for the properties in Bradford. So I'm not sure what's changing. I'm not sure who is getting that job. I know that she's going up a level of getting people into the leases and everything. So
Have they filled Mike's job? Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't know he was not there anymore.
I think yes, but I think he was gonna do part-time for a little while or something. Like he's moved, I think he moved to New York or something. So he was gonna work remotely for a little bit and then yeah. Anything else? Rotary is gonna do a pet food drive on, let's see, the 28th to the something, whatever that next weekend is, the 5th. And then we're gonna do we're gonna just have boxes at the vet clinics and stuff, and then we're gonna have no, hold on, what is the date of that? January 2nd. So it's gonna be the 28th to the 2nd. And then we're gonna do an in-person drive in front of, well, hopefully in front of Hannaford and Farmway on the 2nd. And then we're probably, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that we did our clothing thing over on this
cool.
side last week, and we had a bunch of stuff left over, and because the church wasn't really using their big community space much, they let us, and because the sheriff is a member at that church, he talked to them about us. We decided maybe we would try with a little more notice doing it again in the beginning of January. So they let us leave things set up. And we had a whole lot of people that stopped in to say, oh, I wish, can I bring donations? Because I could bring what my kids have grown out of and things like that. So we decided we're going to do a day of where people can drop things off, and then 2 days where people can come take stuff. Cool. One of the things we had talked about was if there were things left over that the sheriff was going to try to redistribute them around the county. So I don't know if you guys have talked at all about trying to set up something over there, and if you have, maybe we have stuff that could go to it afterwards, or maybe, I don't know, I just wanted to have you be in the loop on that, and that way we could maybe coordinate if you guys thought that there was an opportunity to and a spot to do it somewhere on the Bradford side.
Yeah, totally. So I guess a few things. Little Rivers does, I guess they're doing their winter clothing.
Oh, they do, okay.
They are doing something.
Did anything ever come of the request from Valley Vista that
Yeah, that
they
was the
needed
next-
warm
yeah.
clothing for adults?
That's the next thing I was
We
gonna mention.
talked to them and told them they could send somebody over if they wanted. I don't believe that they did, so
Okay.
this might be a way of getting
Yeah, that was
some
my other thing.
to them if they. And I think
Yeah.
the sheriff would probably be able to arrange to get stuff over there. We just have to plan it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, and Rotary, I think like we were gonna try the pet food thing, and I think the next thing was gonna be like we were gonna see how it went and if people actually participated, and then we are gonna try the winter clothing, and then we might do like a toiletry drive after that. So Ramsey, if you, yeah, I guess like we'd be happy to, I think, go in on that together and do something if you want.
All right, I'll touch base with you when we.
Cool.
I think we're planning on doing it the second week in January.
Okay. Cool. It's a small group now, but they're all energetic, so they want to do stuff. So we're doing stuff with little to no notice and just doing it. So it's good. Anything else? Nancy, do the mentoring families need anything clothing wise?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I've not heard from anyone.
Okay. All right. I think do we actually, I don't know that we have enough, but I still have the minutes rounded up, so you guys can all just run away. I hope everyone has a really good holiday. And the next meeting would be something the 13th of January. Oh, you know what? Actually, I can't do that day. We have like a all day staff thing I'm supposed to do. So I can't actually do that. So you all could meet without me. Ryan could maybe run the meeting or something. Or our next one is the 27th. What do you all think? Could bump it back a week. Or you could just have it.
Maybe we should see if there's anything momentous happening and do something like a quick check-in by email or something.
Yeah.
And if there's stuff that needs to be addressed, then could decide then.
Cool. That sounds good. Awesome. Have a good holiday.
Happy holidays.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Oh, Marvin, did you have something? All right. Bye, Nancy.